Tyson. He's funny, adventurous, successful, and oh, so good looking. But unfortunately, he's a child, interested in childish things, and I'm looking for a king. I do think I dodged a bullet. I don't want to make these mistakes again. I wish him the best, but right now I'm wishing better for me.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Listen, a very quick one for myself. This is going to be one of a few videos I'm going to talk about King's Court. Felecia said, obviously, that she feels like Tyson is a child. And I said, please pay attention because you need to be accountable. Huh? Yes. Felecia needs to be accountable. Look, I have been in this situation myself where somebody has been choosing between two people. And I always say this, whenever you allow yourself to be in the midst of a choice between two people, you are going to always have issues, right? Because you're going to always say you're calmer than you actually are and you're okay with it more than you actually are. And in reality, you ain't. Now, Felecia tells us that she feels like he is a child. Okay, cool. The question is, why are you wanting to have been with a child? If he's so much of a child emotionally in terms of making the choice that he did, why were you looking to be with him? Oh, because he didn't choose you. Does that now qualify him from being a man to a child? Then naturally you're proving his point. You weren't ready for the relationship. Actually, you would have ended up insulting him and disrespecting him alongside the road. Now, do I believe I back what Tyson's done in this process? No, and I'll do it in part 2 where I talk about Tyson and his lack of commitment and his ability to run away and not deal with hard conversations. I'll deal with him. But Felecia then saying all of a sudden because he didn't choose her, now he's a child because he's decided that he can't commit to you. You saw that from early. Do you know why that Felecia missed it? She missed it because she was too interested in trying to catch a big fish, right? But before I go any further, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, you click on that wonderful bell button to get notification of all the uploads that we have along the way. Okay, all right, don't forget, press that bell button, all right, and get involved. Let's talk about some real things, because I know when you watch this, you were thinking some thoughts, and I want to be able to bring that to light to make you understand. This is what we do in coaching a lot of times, right? And when we're coaching clients, I want them to get to a place of being accountable and stop blaming the other person. When you take accountability for the choices you've made, you can then be empowered. Okay, so let's just go a little bit into what Felecia was actually saying, right? Because I rocked with her, you know what I mean? I appreciate her a little bit, you know what I mean?
Mistakes again. I wish him the best, but right now I'm wishing better for me.
So,
okay, like she said, she's wishing better for herself. And I think that's an amazing point. What you're going to need to do is go and sit down and review the tape and ask yourself why you were there in the first place. What we watched from Felecia, of course, is an edited show. And of course, I have to be open to the other perspectives. Maybe the show made her stay. Okay. But I don't have that perspective. So I'm going to take it as I see it. You stayed on the show. You agreed. And whether you said it verbally or not, your actions told us you decided to stay. And when he obviously had new shiny toys, like you were saying, you were uncomfortable with it. You didn't leave. You stayed. And in the end, when you stayed, you also agreed to the process and the journey. And then when the journey comes to an end and you don't get picked, you're entitled to be angry. No one's disputing that. And I'm not telling you not to be angry. I've been there and you're going to be angry. The key thing, though, is to be careful what we're saying in that point in time, because it really is a speech against our own self and our own discernment and choice. Right? Earlier on in the season, when Felecia was getting with Tyson, we all saw that the relationship developed very quickly and was very touchy-feely, right? Now, of course, with that situation, she tried to bring up a little bit later on about boundaries and what we are and all that kind of stuff, right? And he dodged it, okay? Now, he dodged that because he didn't want to have to give an answer because he still wanted to be open. Now, if you at that, and I always say this, if you're at a point where you know yourself that you're ready to commit and the other person isn't, leave. And I'm telling you from good, hard experience, I didn't leave and I stayed because, you know, man was still doing the things and getting his things out of the situation. And in the end, I still got burned. In the end, I still felt some type of way, bro. In the end, it don't matter whether, you know, I was getting it at the end of the day. When your heart wants more, you're still going to be offended and hurt. So here's what you got to do. The moment you start feeling like you're about to fall and you're about to collect your heart and say, here's my heart, you've got to make a decision. If they're not willing to give me what I want right now, I probably need to leave the situation. Now, I didn't like the way that Janae did it to Carlos, but in some ways, she made Carlos choose. Okay, right? Because she ain't about that business. Now, Tyson may have wanted Felecia to fight a little bit or whatever, I don't know, but he said that she's somebody who keeps him accountable. She's somebody who, you know, is going to say it as it is. And you still didn't get chosen because in reality, when somebody really wants you, this indecisiveness, it's not really there. When people are diving and davering, it's very few people, when they're diving and davering, make the right choice. When people are diving and davering, it's because two things are very close, and it's usually neither. I've lived that life, and I know what I'm telling you. Okay? So if you're willing to stay in the process, you got to be accountable. They're not a child now because they didn't choose you. Always, you have to, otherwise, you then have to look at yourself as you point at him. Those three fingers are pointing back. If he's a child, why were you attracted to a child? Because you're a child. That's the whole point. Don't bring a bottle. You're a child too. And a lot of times we don't recognize that, but when we're pointing at them, we're actually talking about ourselves. You think they're a child emotionally? Well, then you're a child emotionally because you were actually accepting it. You couldn't see it. You weren't intelligent enough to realize that actually, when I say intelligent enough, I mean like emotional intelligence. A lot of times people think they're smarter than they are, and they're not. A lot of us like this, including myself. For a time and a time and a period of my life, I thought I'm much smarter than most people. I thought I'm so emotionally intelligent. And then I found myself in stupid situations, situationships. And I'm like, why am I in a situation? Because I'm not as emotionally intelligent as I thought I was. Number one. Number two, I'm not as emotionally available as I like to say I actually am. I'm not as strong on my boundaries and my self-value and my self-esteem as I actually am. You get me? You have every right to be angry. I'm with you. You know what I mean? You have every right to feel some frustration. The key thing is also that he told both women that he didn't want to be with them, right? Now, of course, Jennifer didn't have the same relationship. Now, Felecia had a deeper relationship with Tyson, and I can understand because from the very beginning, pretty much, they've been locked in. But remember, when Felecia was giving us those sound bites in, you know, when they do the confessionals, right? She let us know that in the past, she's not done it correctly in terms of asking the right questions. The key thing is, did you ask the right questions here? The key thing, did you stay true to your process yourself? Just because you're having to choose him doesn't mean you haven't got the power to make a choice here. The choice might have been, you might have to leave. Some other women did leave the process. No, I mean, they fired up when they left, but they had to leave because they recognized that wasn't for them, right? And sometimes you have to come to a place where you yourself go, this isn't for me. It's not aligning with my values, and it's not aligning with what my needs are. I want to feel safe. I want somebody who's going to want me. And then when it doesn't happen, then we're frustrated, of course. And then we're raging at that point because actually we know what the truth is. Here's the truth, that most of you self-betrayal. Most of you have set up a rule for yourself that protects you in your kingdom and your queendom. And when you go against the rule of your domain, you then feel like angry and frustrated, let down, disappointed. And then you go back and you're really deep and you go, I betrayed me. That's why I'm really angry, because I'm angry at me for betraying the truth that I already knew. If Tyson was a child, you already knew that from the beginning. Why enter that relationship with him? Hold on. I knew that from before. So why did I enter it? Oh, because Tyson's such a fine man, a good-looking man. He's a big fish. If I capture him, what does it say about me? Then you start recognizing, oh, there's low self-esteem in yourself. You just don't realize. You can look like a baddie. You can look like a handsome man like Tyson is. Tyson's also got low self-esteem. Listen, no matter how much Tyson does the modeling, if you're in a place where you can't trust people, you have commitment issues, you're always playing the game of wanting to be desired but never really settling down, usually it's actually self-esteem issues. A lot of us don't want to say it, a lot of us don't want to admit it, but we have self-esteem issues. And we get esteem from having multiple women or multiple men. And them feeding us our ego makes us excited because actually really and truly deep down, there's a thought process that says, I'm never good enough. And so actually I'm trying to prove that I'm good enough by collecting all the collectibles. So I'm here to tell you, listen, I totally understand what Felicia's coming from, but anybody else who's watching this and who else has done this before as well, you've waited for a man to choose between you and another woman, or a woman to choose between you and another man, don't bother. It's a waste of time, and you will learn from it the hard way. You just got to review your situation again, go back over it. But listen, my name is Little Black Book 91. I'm here to help you make sure you guys make more educated decisions in relationships. If you need any coaching, my link is down below in the description box. We'd love to hear from you guys. Book yourself into a free discovery call, and we'd love to hear from you as well. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, because it's not easy.